The village of Eldritch Hollow lay nestled within the embrace of an ancient and dense forest, where shadows danced in harmony with the wind's mournful whispers. Amidst the natural beauty, a foreboding presence reigned, a relic of the past known as Ravencrest Manor. This decaying mansion, with its soaring spires that seemed to pierce the heavens like skeletal fingers, exuded an aura of chilling mystique that cast a long and haunting shadow over the quaint village. For generations, the villagers had whispered tales of Ravencrest Manor, weaving a tapestry of spine-tingling stories that spoke of restless spirits and unexplainable phenomena. The air was thick with the weight of the unknown, a palpable sense of unease that clung to the very fabric of Eldritch Hollow. Locals shared grim legends of former inhabitants who had vanished under mysterious circumstances, their fates forever entwined with the mansion's sinister legacy. On a misty evening, when the moon's silvery glow filtered through the gnarled branches of the forest, Amelia Crane arrived at the outskirts of Eldritch Hollow. A historian driven by an insatiable curiosity, she had traveled from distant lands to uncover the truth behind Ravencrest Manor's dark history. With her research meticulously compiled and skepticism firmly intact, Amelia crossed the threshold into the village, her heart echoing the steady rhythm of anticipation and apprehension that had guided her to this enigmatic place. The path to the mansion was a treacherous one, overgrown with ivy and adorned with twisted tree roots that seemed to grasp hungrily at anyone who dared approach. As she neared the looming edifice, her footsteps slowed, and her gaze fixated on the towering spires that pierced the sky like sentinels of a forgotten era. Shadows seemed to dance and flicker on the mansion's crumbling facade, as if whispering secrets only the walls could comprehend. The air was heavy with a silence that seemed almost alive, an unsettling hush that seemed to carry the echoes of 1,000 whispered conversations. Each creak of the floorboards beneath her feet resonated like an echo from the past, a ghostly symphony of bygone days. As she ventured deeper into the mansion's dimly lit corridors, the walls seemed to close in around her, suffused with a sense of ancient malevolence that sent a shiver down her spine. Amelia's lantern cast a feeble light that danced and flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls as she explored the mansion's interior. The air grew colder, and an inexplicable draft whispered through the corridors, carrying with it a hint of long-forgotten melodies. She could almost hear the faint echoes of laughter and music, vestiges of a time when the mansion had been alive with the vibrant energy of its inhabitants. Yet, even in the face of the mansion's chilling aura, Amelia's determination remained unyielding. With each step, she ventured further into the heart of Ravencrest Manor, her mind consumed by a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. Little did she know, her journey into the depths of this haunted relic was just beginning, and the pages of its grim history awaited her exploration. Amelia delved deeper into the labyrinthine corridors of Ravencrest Manor, her footsteps echoing through the dimly lit passageways. The diaries of Isabella Ravencrest, the mansion's enigmatic former owner, lay before her like a bridge to the past, a bridge that promised to reveal the secrets of the haunting melodies that had long permeated the air within these walls. Isabella's diaries were a treasure trove of emotions and experiences, each entry a window into her soul. As Amelia turned the aged pages, she could almost feel Isabella's presence beside her, a spectral companion guiding her through the twisted narrative of her life. The inked words seemed to pulse with a life of their own, their whispered secrets resonating deep within Amelia's consciousness. The more Amelia read, the clearer the malevolent undercurrent of Isabella's tale became. The young musician had possessed a talent that transcended the ordinary. Her compositions were a conduit through which her innermost desires and fears were channeled. Yet, there was an unmistakable darkness that hung over her art, like a storm cloud lurking just beyond the horizon. Isabella's ascent to fame had come at a price, a sinister pact with an otherworldly entity known as the Maestro of the Abyss. The diaries spoke of secret rituals, performed in the dead of night within the very chamber where Amelia now stood. With each ritual, Isabella's connection to the Maestro deepened, and her compositions took on an otherworldly quality that left audiences entranced and unsettled. The mansion seemed to respond to Amelia's presence, the air growing thicker with tension as she read about the maestro's influence. Shadows danced on the walls, and the temperature dropped perceptibly, as if the very fabric of reality was responding to the dark energies woven into Isabella's diaries. A faint whisper seemed to echo through the corridors, carrying with it the faint strains of a melancholic melody, a melody that seemed to beckon Amelia to delve even deeper into the mystery. With every passing entry, Amelia's skepticism waned, replaced by an insatiable curiosity tinged with trepidation. The more she learned, the more she realized that Isabella's compositions were not mere artistic creations, they were a manifestation of a malevolent force that had seeped into the very essence of her being. The boundaries between reality and the supernatural blurred, and Amelia found herself caught in a web of intrigue and danger. As Amelia continued to read, a cold breeze swept through the chamber, rustling the pages of the diaries and sending a shiver down her spine. The spectral presence of Isabella Ravencrest seemed to envelop her, a mournful specter reaching out from the past. With each revelation, Amelia's understanding of the mansion's haunting melodies deepened, and the stage was set for a confrontation between the forces of light and darkness that had long battled for supremacy within Ravencrest Manor. Amelia's exploration of the mansion's secrets became an intricate dance between past and present as she ventured further into the heart of Ravencrest Manor. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the walls, creating a mesmerizing tableau that seemed to echo the enigmatic allure of the mansion itself. In her quest for answers, Amelia stumbled upon a concealed door tucked away behind a tapestry, revealing a hidden chamber that had remained untouched by time. As she stepped into the chamber, a sense of unease settled over her like a heavy mist, each breath she took carrying the weight of centuries-old secrets that hung in the air like a tangible veil. The chamber seemed frozen in time, an intricate tableau frozen in a perpetual state of eerie stillness. A grand piano stood as the centerpiece, its keys adorned with delicate ivory and ebony. Dust danced in the air, stirred by a phantom breeze that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. A sense of foreboding hung over the room, as if the chamber were a portal to a realm where the boundaries between the living and the dead were paper-thin. Amelia's fingers brushed against the keys of the piano, eliciting a hauntingly beautiful note that reverberated through the chamber. The sound seemed to awaken the spirits that lingered within the walls, their presence manifesting as faint whispers that danced through the air like ethereal wisps. She could almost hear the echoes of Isabella's melodies, their spectral resonance harmonizing with the rhythm of her own heart. As Amelia continued to explore the chamber, her lantern's glow revealed a collection of yellowed sheet music scattered across a weathered desk. Each composition bore Isabella's distinct handwriting, intricate notes, and symbols that seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly energy. With trembling hands, Amelia traced the lines and curves of the musical notation, her fingertips tingling with a sensation that seemed to bridge the gap between the physical and the supernatural. A chill ran down Amelia's spine as she realized the significance of the chamber. It was here that Isabella had channeled the dark energy of the maestro into her compositions, infusing her music with an uncanny power that had the ability to both captivate and terrify. The very air seemed to hum with a spectral resonance, as if the chamber itself were a living, breathing entity that had absorbed the echoes of Isabella's unholy symphony. Amelia's lantern flickered, casting elongated shadows that seemed to writhe and contort on the chamber walls. The sensation of being watched intensified, and she could almost feel the weight of 1,000 eyes upon her. The lines between reality and illusion blurred, and for a fleeting moment, Amelia questioned whether she had become a part of the mansion's haunting legacy, a pawn in a game that had spanned generations. Yet, despite the overwhelming sense of unease, Amelia's determination remained unyielding. The chamber's secrets had begun to unravel before her, and she was determined to piece together the fragments of Isabella's tragic tale. With each revelation, the bond between past and present grew stronger, and the stage was set for a climactic confrontation with the very forces that had shaped the mansion's haunting melodies. Amelia's resolve deepened as she embarked on a perilous journey into the heart of the supernatural. Determined to unravel the mysteries of Ravencrest Manor, she sought the guidance of a local medium named Eliza, a woman whose reputation for communing with the otherworldly had earned her a place of reverence among the villagers. Eliza's cottage stood on the outskirts of Eldritch Hollow, nestled among towering trees that seemed to whisper ancient secrets to the wind. Amelia's footsteps echoed softly on the forest path, each step bringing her closer to the woman who held the key to understanding the malevolent forces that had woven their tendrils through the mansion's history. The cottage's interior exuded an air of both warmth and mystique, a sanctuary where the boundaries between the physical and the supernatural seemed to blur. Eliza's eyes bore the weight of countless encounters with the ethereal, and her voice carried the cadence of someone intimately acquainted with the mysteries of the beyond. As she listened to Amelia's tale, her gaze seemed to penetrate beyond the surface, as if she could perceive the very threads of fate that bound Ravencrest Manor to the realm of the supernatural. With a solemn nod, Eliza agreed to accompany Amelia on her quest, a decision that would forge an unlikely alliance between the realms of the living and the dead. Together, they embarked on a journey that would lead them back to the heart of the mansion, where the maestro's influence had taken root and woven a web of darkness that threatened to consume all who crossed its path. As they entered the mansion once more, Amelia's heart raced, and the air seemed to grow heavier with each step. Eliza's presence served as an anchor, a guiding light that provided solace in the face of the mansion's chilling aura. The two women moved in unison, their footsteps echoing through the corridors as they navigated the labyrinthine passages that led them to the very heart of the mansion's malevolence. The hidden chamber, shrouded in an oppressive silence, awaited their arrival. The grand piano stood as a somber sentinel, its keys a conduit for the dark energy that had been harnessed by Isabella. Eliza's voice filled the chamber as she chanted an incantation passed down through generations, a ritual designed to sever the maestro's hold on the mansion and break the cycle of torment. As the incantation echoed through the chamber, the air itself seemed to quiver, and a faint glow enveloped the piano. Shadows danced along the walls, their movements frenzied and chaotic, as if the very fabric of reality was unraveling before their eyes. Amelia felt a surge of energy, both exhilarating and terrifying, coursing through her veins, as if the very essence of the mansion was pushing back against their efforts. In the midst of the spectral maelstrom, Eliza's voice remained steady, her words a lifeline that tethered them to the mortal realm. Her eyes blazed with a fierce determination, and her presence seemed to amplify the potency of the ritual. As the incantation reached its crescendo, a piercing wail echoed through the chamber, a mournful cry that seemed to emanate from the very depths of the abyss. The mansion trembled, its foundations shaking as if the very earth were rebelling against the forces at play. Amelia and Eliza held fast, their wills intertwining as they battled against the malevolent spirit that had held Ravencrest Manor in its grip for far too long. The room seemed to vibrate with a deafening symphony of sound and energy, a clash of wills that transcended the boundaries of the known and the unknown. And then, in a blinding burst of light, the chamber fell silent. The air seemed to still, the shadows receding as if in retreat. Exhausted but triumphant, Amelia and Eliza stood in the aftermath of their confrontation, the mansion's aura noticeably diminished. The forces that had bound the living to the dead had been disrupted, and a sense of profound calm settled over Ravencrest Manor. The alliance between Amelia and Eliza had borne fruit, their collective efforts serving as a beacon of hope in the face of darkness. As they emerged from the chamber, a renewed sense of purpose burned within them, for they knew that the battle was far from over. The maestro's influence had been weakened, but the echoes of its symphony lingered, a haunting reminder of the unbreakable bond between the realms of the living and the dead. The aftermath of the ritual left Ravencrest Manor in a state of eerie calm, the once oppressive aura that had hung over the mansion now reduced to a mere whisper. As the first rays of dawn illuminated the horizon, the village of Eldritch Hollow emerged from the grip of the maestro's malevolence, a tentative sense of relief spreading among its inhabitants. The air was laced with a newfound optimism, a glimmer of hope that had long been absent from the villagers' hearts. Amelia and Eliza stood on the mansion's threshold, their eyes meeting in a silent exchange of understanding. The bond forged through their shared ordeal was unbreakable, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable darkness. As they gazed upon the mansion, they could almost feel the weight of the spirit's gazes upon them, a silent acknowledgement of their courage and determination. Yet, even as the immediate threat had been vanquished, the legacy of the maestro lingered, a haunting reminder of the mansion's tormented past. Whispers still danced on the edge of hearing, carried by the wind as it rustled through the trees. The memories of the spectral symphony that had once reverberated through the halls remained imprinted on the very fabric of the mansion, a tapestry woven from the threads of joy and sorrow, love and despair. Amelia's heart remained heavy with the weight of the knowledge she had gained, the realization that the darkness within Ravencrest Manor had been nurtured by the choices of those who had come before. As she looked back at the mansion, she couldn't help but wonder if the spirits that had been trapped within its walls had finally found a measure of peace, their ethereal presence now free to drift into the great unknown. Eliza's voice broke the silence, her words a soothing balm for the lingering unease. She spoke of the resilience of the human spirit, of the capacity to overcome even the most insurmountable odds. Her gaze was fixed on the horizon, where the sun's golden rays painted the sky in hues of orange and pink. She spoke of the importance of remembering the past, not to be ensnared by its shadows, but to learn from its lessons and forge a path towards a brighter future. As the villagers of Eldritch Hollow began to emerge from their homes, their faces etched with a mixture of curiosity and trepidation, Amelia and Eliza shared a nod of mutual respect. The bond they had forged would forever link them to the haunting melodies of Ravencrest Manor, a testament to their unwavering resolve and the enduring power of the human spirit. And so, as the sun continued its ascent, casting its warm embrace upon the village and the mansion that stood as a silent sentinel, the echoes of the spirit's symphony seemed to fade into the distance. The tale of Ravencrest Manor had come full circle, a haunting crescendo that had brought the realms of the living and the dead into a collision of music and emotion, leaving a lasting imprint on those who had dared to bear witness.